Another type of loom that you might use is a Zippy Loom. So again, we'll start with our slip knot. And the Zippy Loom has smiley faces across the front of it, and then it's just plain on the back. So you always want the smiley faces to be facing you. And you're going to take your slip knot and put it on the left-hand side of the loom. And then to begin, just like the hat loom, we will come from around the back and then around the front. So behind and around, behind and around, behind and around, behind and around, behind and around. And then when you get down to the end, push down your first row. And then the end peg is always just a little bit different. So you're gonna go across the front and then back behind and around the next peg. And so behind and around. So just that first peg, the peg on the end is just a little bit different. And then once you get down to the end, the last peg you wrap, you're going to take your hook and go bottom over the top to hold it in place. And then repeat, take the bottom, up and over on every peg, and then push down and repeat. I'll show you that end again. So you're going to come around the outside, of the zip of the end, and then behind the next peg. So behind and around. Behind and around. And again, take the bottom over the top. Now with the Zippy Loom, some thicker yarns are good. If you use a yarn, I'm using a Charisma yarn by Loops and Threads. It's a little bit thicker, but you could even do 2 strands of yarn at one time, and that would make the stitches not quite so loose on the scarf. But I'll show you the end again. So you're going to come to the outside of the peg, go across the front, and then behind the next one, behind and around all the way down. And just continue this process until your scarf is long enough. Usually from a child's shoulders to the floor is a good length. Once your scarf has reached its desired length, mine is maybe about 4 feet total, have the smiley faces facing you still, and your working yarn, have it coming off the right side of the loom. Then you're going to start with the second peg in and take the stitch up and put it back on the first peg. And then you will take the bottom up and over, and then you'll move that stitch down to the next peg, and then go to the second peg in again, take that stitch off, take the bottom up and over, and then move that down, and repeat this all the way down to the end of the loom. Sometimes with the Zippy Loom, using your fingers is easy as well. Alright, so then you'll take the last peg and you'll do the same thing. Bottom up and over. And then we have 1 loop left. I'm going to take my scissors and cut my working yarn off. And then take the working yarn through the loop or the last stitch and pull to create a knot. And then I like to just kind of tuck the yarn in through the corner right there and back through the loop, make a second knot. And then I just weave the yarn, extra yarn in a couple times. And then you can trim. And then weave in the yarn, weave in the other tail, the same way. Then we can trim. And then there you have a scarf on the Zippy Loom.